also, because of the way their season's been, need to win this game.
Well, is it really important for Manchester United just for morale more than anything? It has been a very tough Premier League campaign, and of course the European campaign continues on Thursday. But for the United fans, I mean, they've stuck by the team, haven't they? They always do, especially away from home.
Oh, away from home, I don't think there's any better support than Manchester United. The numbers and what they do when there's been some terrible, horrific performances, horrific scorelines, and they're still singing. They're still going at it because they just believe. They just believe in that. You've got to stay with them all the way. There's always another.
Cheers, SO peeps. Thanks for hanging out with us today for the live coverage of Manchester United, the best club in the world, going up against Manchester City in a rivalry match. Thank you for joining us today. This is a little coverage of Evolution SC out of Illinois, taking on a club from I don't know where, in some tournament in Indiana. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Manchester United game of the season. And all summer long, we will be covering that guy right there in goal. His games live right here on SOP Soccer. See you back in the chat. Oh yeah, and don't forget, shout out to True Killer on Discord and Twitter. Make sure you find him, send him a DM, and he will get your EAFC team to a level that you can't even imagine. Let's go, Evo. Let's finish this one off, and let's go Manchester United. Come on!
He's here if he's for him to award that free kick.
Well, it was Ruben Dias who committed the foul, and he's been yellow carded, but burst from Garnacho right down the middle, and United have got a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Inside the first 90 seconds, John Brooks, the referee, right into the heart of the action already, Paul.
Certainly, well, he's gone and given the booking. I think that's a bit harsh, really, because he wasn't looking to block him. He knew that if he got past him, there might be a chance he might get a shot off. But the referee has reacted straight away. Inside of the first minute, he's given the yellow card to Diaz. And Bruno Fernandes, if I remember rightly, scored a goal from the other side of the box in a very similar position just of late.
The Manchester United captain ready to take the free kick. Ederson marshalling his wall. It's a big chance this for United. It couldn't be any closer to the edge of the area. Right on the edge of the box, slightly left of centre, as Bruno Fernandes addresses the ball and places it down. What a start this would be for Manchester United on Derby Day in the sunshine. At the scoreboard end, Bruno Fernandes, the only man standing over it, right-footed and into the wall. Tried to drill it. It was a strange effort. Cannons away and behind for a corner.
Yeah, you're right. That was a strange effort. I don't know why. It doesn't normally do that. I mean, we could see where it was going. And the keeper had it covered. Ederson was going across. He could see it very clearly as well. But Kovacic stuck his right leg out and blocked it.
Almost felt a bit half-hearted, didn't it, Paul?
Yeah, didn't have a lot with it. It was like waist height as well.
Corner short to Garnacho, back out to Bruno Fernandes. First time cross, thumping header away by a young O'Reilly for Manchester City. In this transitional City team, he is one of the prominent young guard, if you like, Paul. And I know he's not a right back, but he plays in your position of full back, and I know you rate him highly.
I do. I liked him, especially he's come on a couple of occasions and he's made a difference. Made a big difference just in their last game when he come on, or the one before that where when he come on. He made a goal. He made 2 goals, to be honest, and coming as a sub in the second half.
It's United 0, City 0 on the No Room for Racism campaign weekend, and both sets of players took the knee at kick-off, which is absolutely right and proper. A very important and worthwhile campaign for the Premier League. No room for racism in football or in society in general. City have got the ball with Diaz, and they've settled down after that slightly frenetic start. And Gvardiol ball up to the halfway line. Gundogan tucks it wide to O'Reilly, and Gvardiol midway inside his own half of the field finds Ruben Dias. I'll tell you what, Paul, United 0, City 0, but United look up for this early on.
Well, this moment in time, they are really trying to close them down early and not allowing them any time on the ball. defending third, City, but they're trying to work it, but they don't get flustered. They'll keep trying to pass it. They won't go, anything rash and just knock it forward if they're under pressure. They will try and pull Manchester United out, and now they're in control of it now, and they're going to be able to get over the halfway line.
Kovacic with the red boots on, right at the centre circle. He's angled the ball onto the far side, and now Bernardo Silva's going to dart forward into the Manchester United half. He's midway inside it now. Back to Kovacic, and Diaz again on the halfway line. Little square ball to the Croatian Gvardiol, and now O'Reilly. Forward down the left to Kevin De Bruyne. First real touch for him, and he was well blocked off by Mazraoui at the expense of a Manchester City throw. The crowd have certainly brought the noise today. Lovely temperatures all around the UK and lots of sunshine, so it's almost got a carnival atmosphere about it. United know that in the Premier League their form is nowhere near where it should be, but they do have hope of qualifying for the Champions League via Europe this season, as Lenny Euro puts in a good robust challenge on Foden. It's a City throw out on their right hand side. Phil Foden a bit elusive at times this season, Paul.
Like City, he's been inconsistent. People are talking about him. I'm sure one pundit actually said that he believes that he's reached his peak. Yeah, I had to laugh at it, really. What is he, 24 years of age?
I think there's a lot more still to come.
Oh, without a doubt.
Who knows whether that will be under a different manager, Paul? That is an interesting question. Marmoush, little flick back to De Bruyne, took that well. Midway into the Manchester United half, and he's just steered the ball square to his left, and O'Reilly, who trots across to keep hold of it. It wasn't actually a great layoff by De Bruyne. It slowed the momentum of the City attack a bit. Kovacic, forward of the centre circle is Ruben Diaz, and now everybody's in the United half, bar the City goalkeeper Ederson. Bernardo Silva, 10 yards into United territory, into Gvardiol, inside the centre circle. Gvardiol's angled ball wide to the left, and Nico O'Reilly turning away on the near side of the field from the sliding challenge of Diogo Dalot. It is a free kick.
Yeah, it was. It was a free kick initially because he was virtually pulling back on his shirt, his body holding him back and not allowing O'Reilly to get away from him, and then he slides in.
And now the ball is with Ruben Diaz again in the centre circle. At TalkSport Live, let us know where you're listening from around the world. Plenty of listeners to Premier League Live. Score predictions for the derby. 7 minutes in, it's United 0, City 0. Forward by Kovacic from halfway, high angled ball and way overhit. Easy for Andre Onana, who started the season well, Paul, but has completely dropped off really over the course of the second half of the campaign, unfortunately.
He has cost Manchester United a few goals, a few games.
He's not been the only one.
Oh no, but his mistake is the ones generally always going to be costly because there's no one to pick up the pieces behind him.
Yeah.
Well, we have to say some of the other players have been fortunate that others have maybe got him out of jail.
Here is Ruben Diaz, midway inside his own half of the field. Paul Parker, formerly of Manchester United, with us today. Ruben Diaz, ball over the top, down the middle towards Marmoush. He's chasing with Mazraoui, good composure by the former Ajax man to turn away from Marmoush, but he's given it away with the pass. Ugarte couldn't get hold of that. Foden accelerates to the right-hand side is De Bruyne, and going back was Dorgu, who got a tackle in, but the offside flag up anyway against De Bruyne, so even if something had come of it, it wouldn't have counted. It's a free kick to Manchester United, 0-0.
It was. Again, that's like City of old. Just the way they broke them. De Bruyne's just half a foot offside in the end.
Any bit of sentimentality in starting Kevin De Bruyne today, Paul, if sentimentality does still exist in football?
It's one of those ones. Someone once said that if you allow sentiment to get in the way of a decision,
this is Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, it'll cost you your job.
Well, you just think, don't you? Not played a lot from the start this season at times, De Bruyne. Final Manchester derby. Pep Guardiola won an amazing 16 of 28 meetings against United in his managerial career. And you go back to the days of Barcelona and Champions League finals. Onana chips the ball away for Manchester United to the left. It was a risky ball. Dorgu actually did well to win that in the air, and Garnacho plays it back to Euro in front of a a rather nervy Paul Parker, and Onana nearly closed down by De Bruyne there. He took an age to clear that, and you could have seen that coming off the goalkeeper's foot, hitting De Bruyne and going in.
Yes, right. Again, it's unnecessary. He's too slow on the ball, and he allows teams to close them down because of how long he takes. And it's deliberate as well, but there's no benefit for him to be doing what he's doing. There's no gain. And we saw United, their best part of the game was the first 30 seconds where they just went at it a bit of tempo when they got the ball. They haven't had the ball since.
Amorim and Guardiola standing on the edge of their respective technical areas as Manchester City drive forward with Mateus Nunes, nudges it wide to the corner of the area. Phil Foden with a left-footed shot, and it's just wide of the near post. The local lad knows exactly what it means. Tried to beat Onana on his near side. It was well struck, just wide.
Yeah, he never really caught it right, to be perfectly honest. He's kind of hooked it. You could see he just caught the ground just with his foot. You could just see the chalk come up. He didn't catch it as clean as he wanted to, but he was definitely looking to go at the near post. Hadn't Onana scrambling.
Well, a good recovery spell for Manchester City in this first 10 minutes after United threatened to make the brighter start. 0-0 in the Manchester derby on Premier League Live. Earlier, Liverpool, the leaders, beaten at Fulham. And Southampton down after losing at Spurs. Brentford 0 and Chelsea 0, the other game today. Garnacho out on the left for United. Back to Ugarte. And now, just inside City territory, stands Lenny Yoro. I mean, Lenny Yoro is somebody who would probably be someone who United might want to build a future team around going forward. But United have given it away through Maguire, and now City break with Foden, blocked off by Casemiro. Foden from on the floor flicked that into the path of De Bruyne, but the attack quickly comes to an end as United win it back, and then Euro hesitates. De Bruyne tries to burst through the middle. Maguire gets a foot in. That was a strange, scrappy passage of play. Foden is still down. Has he got to his feet? Slowly getting to his feet. Still 0-0, Paul Parker.
Oof. It's just poor. I'm just looking now. Maguire initially gives the ball away so cheaply and then gives it straight to Foden. Foden's tried to go forward, tries to play in De Bruyne, and he takes a hit after he's passed the ball. And I've seen fouls given for that when the ball's gone and players have made contact just after.
Well, it was a very strange passage of play that started with that darting run from Foden, and Casemiro slid in, and then while he's down on the floor, Foden, he's tried to flick the ball with his heel.
Well, Casemiro's come in a 1980s, 1990 kind of
lunging challenge.
Yeah, and there was momentum as well when he's done it. He's won the ball clean, but everything about now football, you're not allowed any momentum. I'm surprised the referee allowed that to go on, to go like that. In today's terms, it's seen as a foul, but it's Casemiro. So when he's done it, thank goodness the referee didn't stop it, because he mostly felt he's got to book him.
Well, they might have to be forced into a change here, Manchester City. They are tempted to send one or two out to warm up. Maybe Savinho, maybe Grealish, maybe Doku.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Savinho and you've got Doku there. I mean, Doku's one of those players, and I look at this Manchester United team, what they got out there, I don't think they'd want him out there, because I think he'd frighten the life out of them, especially as there's so much space in wide areas because of their playing three at the back. And I look at Euro and I think to myself, he can't deal with pace, because we saw him where he played before with Southampton. He got absolutely ripped to pieces.
Well, Foden limps up. It's Manchester City side not especially prolific in recent times. 5 goals in 5 in the league. The United have failed to score in 10 of their 30 league matches so far this term. But a positive result will take them above Spurs. Headed by Nunes on the halfway line. Foden still waiting to come back on. He hasn't had the shout yet, as the ball is going to bounce all the way through to Andre Onana. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Maguire's got it, and he's midway inside his own half the field. To his left is Euro, scampering towards halfway. Foden still waiting to come back on. Now Garnacho back into his own half of Maguire. Referee finally calls Foden back onto the field. That seemed to take maybe longer than it should have done.
Well, that's where the situation where the ball should have gone forward a little bit quicker. He didn't. They've just ambled around, kept possession in their own half. City were down to 10 men.
Højlund, right edge of the penalty area from Casemiro's lofted pass. Good work by Gvardiol and Diaz between them to send it back to Ederson, who rather shanks the clearance high up into the air. That's going to bounce right in front of Pep Guardiola and out of play for a Manchester United throw. Rasmus Højlund, another Manchester United player whose form has pretty drastically tailed off, really.
Hasn't really got going, to be perfectly honest, Joe. It has been a poor return as a centre forward for Manchester United, and I don't just mean the goals. It's just generally it's been very, very poor.
Back it goes to Maguire. Long diagonal ball is a good one. Is it going to bounce away from Dorgu? He can't quite keep it in the January transfer window signing, and out of play it goes for a throw. Quarter of an hour gone, United 0, City 0. And you're listening to Premier League Live. Good to have your company wherever you're listening to us from around the world. And Paps from Ghana is listening to us, says Man United surely winning this game. As City go long to Marmoush with a left-footed shot, and Maguire gets across. And it is a Manchester City corner at the Stretford end, Paul Parker.
Yeah, and that's what Man City are about now with Marmoush there. He's got that change of pace. Harry Maguire has had to work really hard just to get there. Be interesting how this game goes on, how long he can keep doing that, because Marmoush will keep making those runs into those areas just the either side of Harry Maguire.
Kevin De Bruyne to take the corner. Get some more of your tweets in just a moment. Right-footed and in, swinging this corner from De Bruyne. He's got two arms up into the air. Maybe that's a signal. Dinked into the near post, only half away by United. And then Højlund will thunder it up into the air. Only as far as Marmoush, left corner of the box. He's tried to chest it down, hammered away in the end by Højlund again. Bouncing ball reaches Ruben Dias, right at the edge of the centre circle, and he's going to turn away from Garnacho, steer it square to Nunes, and City can build again. Hello to Zoggy the Gooner, who's stuck in traffic in New York State, it looks like. Loving the commentary and hoping for a United win. De Bruyne to the centre circle, and Kovacic. City would need to win to leapfrog Chelsea into fourth.
Yeah, we've seen already United have dropped off end nowhere. They're not going in up high at all.
You're absolutely right, Paul. They have dropped off, haven't they?
Yeah.
As United win a throw down by their own corner flag. That fast start probably lasted a couple of minutes or so, and City are starting to take control of the Manchester derby.
And that's the problem. I mean, they're just trying to play on counters at this moment in time. They're not a counter-attacking side because they haven't really got any genuine pace out there.
0-0, Dorgu pulls the ball forward towards Højlund, who's dispossessed, and Foden trying to find Gundogan on the edge of the box. It's swept up into the afternoon sky by Nusayr Mazraoui. Nice bright day it is in the northwest of England. Now Kovacic, red boots on, midway inside the United half. Square ball to O'Reilly, and City starting to really dominate possession now, and this is where you fear for Manchester United. They just can't get hold of it.
That's exactly right. They're having to work hard, and this drop really deep. They'll end up on the back of their own box, where mistakes have to be at a minimum, otherwise, because that one mistake would definitely allow someone to actually get a look at the goal.
And Nunes, he's nearly level with the right edge of the penalty area. He's played it back to Bernardo Silva. Reverse ball, De Bruyne, corner of the area, left-footed curling shot, and that's rolled into the gloves of Onana. Simple save in the end, and no issues for the Manchester United goalkeeper there, but good football in the build-up from Manchester City, no question about that. And then De Bruyne's curler wasn't particularly good, and Onana able to make an easy save. Little flick by Casemiro for Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes really caught that, sending it skywards. Garnacho plucks it out of the air. That's a lovely take. He's going to raid down the left-hand side. On the overlap is Dorgu. Dorgu to the dead ball line, and back was Nunes, and Dorgu didn't do very well really in that challenge. He's eventually poked it out of play, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, as good as it's been. I mean, that was a wonderful ball from Bruno Fernandes from the right-hand side out to Garnacho on the left-hand side, whose touch was impeccable, to be perfectly honest. Just couldn't make anything of it in the end. Again, that was only the second time we've seen them in that area.
De Bruyne takes it in his stride into the United half, but a poor ball towards Marmoush. Dalot there to intercept, and you can see, can't you, Paul? There's a lot of endeavour there, but in the first 19 minutes you can see why it's not vintage stuff from either club.
No, it's not at the moment. It's been quite poor. City are by far the better team with the football, but Manchester United at this moment, they're just on the counter, and we just saw there with De Bruyne, I mean, the pass was an eye of a needle pass. He had two players going with him. If he finds him, then we turn around and say, yeah, but he didn't find him, so it was a bad decision by De Bruyne to make that pass looking at Mamouche.
Dorgu plays the ball back to Lenny Euro for Manchester United. Clever chip up to Fernandes, shy of halfway. Square ball out to Dorgu on the left. He crosses into City territory. Now Garnacho with a chance to run at the back four. Couple of weaving step overs from Garnacho, and now a crossfield pass arcing towards the right. Dalot brings it down, right corner of the area. Lovely cross, and somehow Garnacho gets it all wrong at the back post. Couldn't bundle it home. He ended up almost falling on it, and it's cleared away by City.
Well, that's again saying it's just the odd counter, and you've got to grab it. You have to go and take it, because City don't give the ball back to you that often, and he didn't take it. Garnacho, I think he sees it late, and he's virtually sinking his head down towards the ball. He stands up and sees it coming. He might have taken it on his chest, or he might have been at head high rather than putting his head down.
Hi to Jason Davis. He's got in touch at Talk Sport Live, heading to his son's football game. Let's keep Manchester red, he says. A lot of love for Manchester United today. City fans, you can have your say as well. 0-0, 20 minutes into the derby. Here is Dalot. He's in the wing-back area, and he's clipped a high ball over the top. Out comes Ederson for a pretty simple take in the end, trying to work the channels, Manchester United, but too much on the weight of the pass for Højlund. Now in the centre circle, it's Kovacic, forward of that centre circle, and to his left is O'Reilly. City have slowed the game down. Kovacic on the ball again. Square to Bernardo Silva. Walking pace here. Everybody on the pitch. Bernardo Silva's angled ball out to the right-hand side, and it's played back by Nunes to Diaz. And Diaz with a sea of United red shirts in front of him. But a little passive at times, Manchester United now, and when they get the ball, they're looking to go direct, and it's not really coming off for them, although it was a lovely move they put together a few minutes ago.
Yeah, there's not a lot else they can really do in that sense, Joe, because they're not a team who keeps the ball. So it is all counter-attacks, because they're not getting a lot of the ball. And as well, they're not an athletic side. So to get players forward as well is very difficult for them, because they're sitting so deep.
Manchester City trying to move the ball as quickly as they can. It's 0-0 on Derby Day in Manchester, here on Premier League Live. City out on the far side there, right, with Nunes. Back to the lip of the centre circle. Diaz gets it back from Gundogan, and now Kovacic. Gundogan again, little tuck out to the right, interception by Euro in front of De Bruyne. Euro, big tall defender, square pass into the centre circle, intercepted by a retreating Mamouche. No foul on Lenny Euro. The referee convinced of that despite the United appeals. Now De Bruyne 25 yards out, pushes it on towards Foden, and his England colleague Maguire got there first to clear.
He did. It was just overhit the pass as well. That was just typical City in the end. They nearly got him behind them. Weight of pass cost them in the end.
City have it now, out on their right. Far side is Ruben Diaz, and he's about 15 yards from the corner of the box. Now, a little tuck from Gundogan to Foden. Foden's layoff not great. Sliding into clear was Casemiro. City win it back immediately as Casemiro puts in a diving header in the middle of midfield. It's dropped to Nunes on the right-hand side. Now Kovacic, again midway inside City territory. 10-yard ball forward to De Bruyne. He's trying to chip over the top into the area, headed away easily by Maguire in the end. Now United have it with Bruno Fernandes, and he's going to be dispossessed again, is he here? He's somehow got past three sky blue shirts to keep the ball actually quite impressively there.
I don't know what he's moaning at the referee about. There was never a foul there. It was just block tackles.
Bruno Fernandes in a central area. Out wide is Garnacho. Good first touch into the box. Pulls it back across. Here's the chance for Dorgu, but his touch was so heavy running onto it. And again, United looking to create down their right-hand side, and they carved out a great opportunity. But Dorgu was so unconvincing.
He was as well. He lost all his composure because it's come onto his right foot. He wasn't on his left foot, his favoured foot, his stronger foot. He's on his right side. And his first touch off of it pushed it another 5 yards further forward. Anything close to him and he shoots. It's as simple as that. And what is he, 12, 13 yards away from goal? It was a poor touch.
And a confident player, maybe a right-footed player, surely hits that first time.
Hits it first time. Fernandes is there, he hits that. instepped, and he's curling that keeper's left-hand side.
0-0 after 24 minutes. So City would be behind Chelsea in the race for Champions League football, although, as we've been saying, fifth likely to be a Champions League spot. Great ball, Kovacic down the left, O'Reilly in the area. Good sliding challenge by Dalot at the last moment in front of the Stretford end. And equally good work by Casemiro to draw a foul from Kovacic, and two former Real Madrid players there going head-to-head, and United winning the free kick.
I mean, you can see already Casemiro is very much in the game. Yes, it's a little bit more defensive, but he can get closer to the City players, so he can get around there, because they're not as dynamic with the ball as they used to be, City, when there was prime City. So it's allowing him the opportunity to get closer and being there with Ugarte to stop everything. The problem you got when they do win it, to counter, they can't get the legs of Ugarte. Casemiro can't make those big lung busters in up there. They're not box-to-box players, so that when you've got those two in that midfield, you have to be better with the ball and keep possession so you can work your way up.
Here's Harry Maguire, red boots on midway inside his own half, and he's nearly played that behind Euro. And Euro able to hold on to possession at walking pace. Maguire now with a crossfield ball angled high to Dalot on his chest. Brings it down just shy of the halfway line. Back to Mazraoui. Now he goes long at the inside right towards Højlund, but good authoritative defending there by Gvardiol. He just chested that down, didn't he? Made it look easy.
It was very, very easy.
And Ruben Dias shy of the centre circle. Onto Bernardo Silva. Little tap back to Ruben Dias again. Bernardo Silva's got Nunes to his right. Silva square to Kovacic now. Kovacic eluding Højlund, and out wide to Nunes with the pass. And now Dias in the centre circle. His immediate left is Gvardiol, and now O'Reilly on halfway, right in front of the two managers, Pep Guardiola and Ruben Amorim. Who's going to be the happier, Paul, would you say, out of those two?
I think if it was to stay as it was, I think it had to be Amorim that would be more happy going in. So I don't think he was expecting anything different from what it is at this moment in time.
Back to Onana for Manchester United. Now Mazraoui deep inside his own half. It's a slightly hurried clearance. Chest by Bruno Fernandes. Gets it back from Højlund. Good ball by Bruno Fernandes. Down the right for Garnacho. He turns into a more central area. Picks up Bruno Fernandes. 25 yards out. Continued the run onto Dorgu, left-footed. And, well, he wasn't convincing on his right a few moments ago, and he wasn't convincing on the left there either.
No, he definitely wasn't. He seemed like he was waiting for Bernardo Silva maybe to dive in, and that was in his mindset that was going to happen. Bernardo Silva decided he's going to stay on his feet. He didn't want to stick his leg in there in case he could have given something away, but Dorgu, when he got there, didn't know what he was going to do next. Totally was clueless what his next thing was going to be, and the thing he should have been doing was going at goal, and he didn't. And he ends up skying it and going towards the near post as well.
It certainly wasn't vintage stuff from Patrick Dorgu on the finish. Good football again, though, from Manchester United, and they've had 2 or 3 of those kinds of attacks in the first half, but it is still United 0, City 0.
Well, that's always going to happen, Joe, because just for the fact of that we're only having like so little time with the ball, and it has to be that way.
28 minutes in at TalkSport Live on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you'd like to have your say, United breaking. Garnacho having won it on the halfway line, darting down the middle to his right. Here is Bruno Fernandes, edge of the box. He's chipped it to the back post. Ugarte stretching on the volley. He was under a bit of pressure, but again, he didn't really connect at all, and it stays 0-0.
Honestly, it's incredible, this game. We're just watching it, and it's City are just having so much of the ball, cause their own problems. Kovacic thinks he can run through 3 players. They virtually go like 5 against 3. Fernandes goes far post and he knocks it to one midfield player who doesn't score a lot of goals on his wrong foot as well. It was just a bad choice by Fernandes where to go. And they had a lot of players forward as well. They broke very quickly. It was down to City and Kovacic giving the ball away cheaply. And that's one of the things I think Pep will be talking about, because the moment they lose the ball in there, they've got no cover on. They're wide open through the middle.
Well, Ruben Amorim's team is certainly creating. City have had the better of it in terms of possession, but 0-0, and overall quite an even first half an hour. Euro back to Onana, the goalkeeper. He's under a bit of pressure here from Foden. That's a good ball forward, about 15-20 yards to Dalot. A nice tuck up the right by Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes infield to Højlund. Dalot's continued his run over halfway. Pep Guardiola running about like a madman in the technical area. United thread it wide left, and Dorgu, is he offside? I think he might be in that advanced attacking position, Paul.
I think the manager won't be too pleased with him on that side.
Bruno Fernandes looking crossfield, and Dorgu, well, he's not had the best of starts to his Manchester United career, but of course it does take time for players to adapt.
Especially the way the team as well is a bit fragmented, so it's mostly been very difficult for him.
O'Reilly's out here on the left, and he's played it back to the halfway line, and Gvardiol. O'Reilly again. He's just inside the Manchester United half. Gvardiol to Bernardo Silva. And now out on the right into opposition territory goes Nunes. A strange contrast to the game. United look the brighter team in terms of actually being able to create, but City, despite having lots of possession, have created comparatively little, and it was just that drive from Foden, really, Paul Parker, so far.
Yeah,
for City.
Yeah, that was their kind of, that's when it went a bit high tempo for them. Other than that, really, I think there's been a De Bruyne shot straight at the keeper, but other than that, there's been a lot of work outside, but not a lot of work in that attacking third.
North side against De Bruyne down the right. Euro goes in hard on Gundogan, and it's out of play for a corner to Manchester City at the Stretford end. Manchester derby day, and it is 0-0 so far. A City team that has scored 57 goals so far this season. United have only scored 37, which is very much one of the lower tallies in the league. That said, only really Liverpool have scored plenty, 72 from their 31 games. Beaten at Fulham today, Liverpool. Just a second league defeat of the season, but they're still 11 points clear at the top. Delivered in the corner by Foden, and it is headed off the line by Mazraoui. Goalkeeper didn't get there, and it came off his own defender. Might have been Maguire, might have been Euro. Onana was unconvincing in his 6-yard box.
It was terrible from the keeper, absolutely terrible the way he's gone out like that. Not convincing at all, as you just said. Harry Maguire's headed it in front of him, but he should be cleaning Harry Maguire out, by the way, and picking him up and saying sorry.
Well, he's gone to punch it. It's hit the glove of the goalie, hasn't it? But only just. City take the resulting throw, and it's thundered upfield by Dalot from the dead ball line, drops in the centre circle, and it'll be retrieved by Ruben Dias. So they can come forward again here, Manchester City. Kovacic back to Dias again on the halfway line. Bernardo Silva rolls it all the way back to goalkeeper Ederson. He's all in white today. 0-0, and so we've had 32 minutes of the Manchester derby, and at the moment it feels like maybe there will be mistakes that could cost either team as a way to get the goals flowing here. It doesn't feel like much is going to necessarily come from lots of free-flowing football. It's a bit scrappy at times, full commitment though, of course, from both sets of players.
Yeah, we just see it's two teams who are still trying to find their way in what has been a difficult season for both of them. City are doing what they normally do, but nowhere near with the standards that they have set from previous seasons. Heavy
touch by Ilkay Gundogan, but he's blocked off by Casemiro. He's having a good game so far in terms of breaking up the play. Gundogan's drifted out to the left-hand side, and he's going to play it back to Kovacic. It's a game that sometimes feels like it doesn't have a lot of pace, Paul, and then suddenly, quite often in this first half, Manchester United are looking quite quick on the counter.
Yeah, they are, but they're just not getting enough numbers there. I mean, to be perfectly honest, when you look at them on the counter, we haven't mentioned Højlund at all, have we?
No,
he hasn't.
You're right.
He hasn't touched the ball.
Certainly not in a meaningful area.
No.
Bernardo Silva, City's number 20. Legendary Bernardo Silva, you'd have to say. Sweeps it out to the left, and O'Reilly. Little 1-2 between him and Gundogan. Gundogan with the dark hair just in the Manchester United half. Gundogan looks up, and he's got an opportunity to play the ball up the inside left, but poor old Marmoush has had no service whatsoever. That's very heavy by Gundogan and easy for Onana.
Well, even then he's made 2 or 3 runs, and every time Gundogan looks at him, he hasn't played it. So he's made another run, and he's had to stop his run. Gundogan then plays it in behind. He's overhit it though, but he could have done it earlier. He's another player. They brought him back, and he seems out of sync now. He's lost that bit that season at Barcelona. He's lost that little bit of an edge, that knowledge. So he's another one who might need a summer to get reinvigorated. But is he going to be there for another season?
Luke Shaw among those warming up on the near side touchline, back on the bench for the first time since December. At Talk Sport Live to get in touch. Hello to Steve Fry, who's listening to us from sunny but chilly Michigan and hoping Manchester United get a result just to shake up the fight for the top 4 or 5. And Steve listening via Sirius XMFC. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Kovacic ball down the middle, flicked by Gundogan, but Maguire's there in front of De Bruyne. Then Garnacho loses out in the middle of midfield to Bernardo Silva. Nunes, he's going to pop it back here to Diaz. He might do. He's held onto it in the end. City dominant in terms of the possession. Most of the game being played in the half to the left. But United still arguably creating the better of the half chances in the game.
Well, when it comes to an encounter, they do look less of the ball, but they look like the bigger threat, to be honest. City are doing what City do, but they've got nothing at the end at the moment. They've shown nothing at the end that United should be worried about. They've just got to keep their concentration levels very, very high.
Nunes with a high long ball over the top and collected by Andre Onana, high above his head on the edge of the 6-yard box. And he bowls it out quickly, little flick by Ugarte. Not the best of flicks towards the left-back position. Dorgu had a job on keeping it. He was beaten to it by Bernardo Silva. He's rolled it infield straight to Casemiro. United on the break. That's snuffed out by Bernardo Silva. And Garnacho goes in trying to win it back in front of Nunes, but City a little too quick for United there. Nunes, right to left arcing ball crossfield.
Just look at this. They're so laboured on the right-hand side, City, with Nunes at full-back. He doesn't do anything. I'm not really sure what his best position is, Nunes. I know he's not a full-back, but I saw him as a midfield player. He was a bit of an athlete when he was at Wolves. He was always making those big runs. He doesn't want to run at the moment.
De Bruyne left edge of the box, corner of the penalty area, and Mazraoui's poked it into touch. It's a Manchester City throw here. Kevin De Bruyne wearing the City shirt in a Manchester derby for the very last time. Pep Guardiola in his usual jumper and trousers combination, standing in the sun on the halfway line. Great day for football in Manchester. We've had 37 minutes nearly and only one effort on target in the game, and that was an easy save for Onana. Kovacic ball down the middle, doesn't get it right, and so United now with Dorgu out in the left back area, forward to Garnacho. He's gone down, fouled, and it's a free kick. And there is a lot of endeavour, isn't there, Paul Parker, but it's not a Manchester derby that has been a classic so far. Nowhere
near a classic at the moment. It's quite quality-wise, it's very, very poor, to be perfectly honest, from both sides and what they're doing. But it is at the moment, you'd say it, the Manchester United fans will be very pleased in the way that they're in the game. They deserve to be in the game, and they've shown a little bit in the attacking third, but it's little and not often enough they're actually doing.
Well, plenty of famous faces in the director's box today, including Hugo Viana, who will become Manchester City Director of Football this summer. Former Newcastle player. And Sir Alex Ferguson among those here as well. Ruben Amorim watches on for Manchester United from the near side touchline. I guess he's got the team working hard today, Paul, but do lack a bit of quality, if we're honest, in the final third.
Yeah, they do, definitely.
Kovacic in the centre circle. Sorry, Paul, carry on.
No, I was just going to wonder, Pep's going to change it up. It has to be in wide areas. And we just mentioned Savinho and Doku. They're the ones who could make the difference.
De Bruyne ball over the top, headed away by Euro, retreating towards his own penalty area, and again slices the clearance right-footed high up into the air. City have it back with Gvardiol. Højlund can't hold it up at the moment for Manchester United. As we head towards the last 6 minutes or so of a normal time here at the end of the first half, plus added time to come. Kovacic darts beyond the centre circle. There's a bit of a gap here for Gundogan. 25 yards out, low shot! And just wide of the far post. Had Onana worried. Maybe not as close as I initially thought, but a rare moment where a City player had that pocket of space, Paul.
Well, it's a rare moment that we're seeing the shot from outside the box. Again, he kind of hooks it. He doesn't strike through the ball as mostly as he would like. It was always going away, even though Onana had a little bit of a panic, to be perfectly honest. And to be honest, I could see from the moment he caught that was never going to hit the target.
Well, at least an opening of sorts for Manchester City. They've been out of sorts this season, but you'd think they should have enough to finish in the top 4 or 5. Garnacho for Manchester United. He's wriggled his way into a central area. Did very well off the ball there initially to win it back, and then a good run to find Dorgu. Crossfield left to right. Dalot brings it down in the box. Lays it back to Bruno Fernandes. Hit by Casemiro. And he couldn't get much power behind it, and it's straight at Edison.
Again, it was another kind of counter-attack. They've done it quite quick. Dorgu's pass out wide. Finds Dalot, who pulls it back to Fernandes. He can't get the touch on it. Casemiro steps in on the edge of the box, and it's a shot on target. Doesn't trouble Edison at all.
Hello to Lee Hart, one of our regular listeners, who's listening while driving a tanker to Temperance, Michigan. He sent us an amazing photo of last night's Aurora display with a spectacular sort of green-coloured skyline. Amazing to see. Gundogan, midway inside the Manchester City half. The skies aren't quite that level of spectacular in Manchester, but at least it's blue and it's bright. United 0, City 0. 4 minutes of the first half to go. Not a lot on the highlights reel so far. City with a couple of long-range efforts and kind of nearly, but not quite for United. Some good build-up play, but nothing on the end of it. 72% of the ball in the last 10 minutes for Manchester City. As Casemiro makes a good block tackle on Foden, and Garnacho and then gives it away, having done the hard work to win it back a second time. Gundogan charges down the middle. Excellent sliding challenge by Bruno Fernandes from behind, and Maguire with a good pass to the left. Garnacho, nobody really up with him, so he's had to go back to Bruno Fernandes, and that's slowed the momentum of the attack a bit. United have it only about 10-12 yards into the City half.
Yeah, they're just taking the best way I can see them scoring is off the counter, getting the ball forward a lot quicker, because they are thin at the back. Manchester City, they're not the best defensively.
Foul on Bruno Fernandes, and a free kick given away by Bernardo Silva. At the moment, it doesn't feel like a game that is going to have many, if any, goals, but we can still feel optimistic, perhaps. Things can change. 3 minutes of normal time left in this first half. Free kick to United inside City territory. They're going to go long with this, perhaps. City holding a very high defensive line.
I was about to say, they look really shallow there. Just pull it behind in a wide area.
Bruno Fernandes floats the diagonal to the right, headed on by Diogo Dalot, not once but twice. He's had to nudge it back out wide with the second header. Garnacho slides in front of the scoreboard end, back to Ugarte with a right-footed cross. It drops to the far post, poked on towards Maguire. Couldn't quite get there from Casemiro's knockdown. Manchester City on the break with Kevin De Bruyne. Charges over the halfway line. He's raced right down the middle. Euro gets back to stop his ball towards Foden. And United go back to Onana, who clears. Not a great clearance, still 0-0. City have won it with Gundogan. United just lost their shape there momentarily. That allows City to have it with Gundogan again, middle of the United half.
That's the first
sky blue shirt. Sorry, Paul.
No, that was the first time we saw De Bruyne actually drive forward with the ball at his feet.
Yep.
Just only had the one pass on to Foden.
Chipped by Kovacic, nodded down by O'Reilly into the area, cleared away by Mazraoui in the 50-50 with Gundogan. And only half one back by Garnacho, but United do now have it with Bruno Fernandes. He's been caught by Bernardo Silva, just shy of halfway. That's going to provide another free kick to Manchester United, albeit, of course, a heck of a long way from goal. Well, a tangle between the two. Bruno Fernandes, who could be such a key aspect of Manchester United's performance today. Just got clipped by Bernardo Silva. Last minute or so of the first half. Ian Mangan has got in touch at TalkSport Live. Manchester derby making my long run a bit easier today in Indianapolis. Up the Villa, says Ian Mangan. So Villa fan in touch with the Manchester derby. Good to hear from you, Ian. There's a late challenge on Kovacic now. And are we going to see what would be just the second yellow card of the derby? Kovacic. In fact, yes, it is Kovacic who was caught. Marmouche is down as well. Not been a dirty game so far, Paul.
No, not at all. And there was actually no contact. Ugarte's actually stopped himself. There was more contact than Marmouche's one. That was... Well, it wasn't not a great...
Not a lot in either, really.
No, there wasn't. Well, definitely that one I thought with Ugarte. There was... He actually stops himself before he gets there. And he just falls over and it's mad. Could have been a yellow card. That's, you know, that's the way it could just happen. Been a real soft one as well.
Ruben Dias in the centre circle. Now Bernardo Silva. 2 minutes added time at the end of the first half. It's not been high on entertainment, but it's certainly been closely contested, as you'd expect a Manchester derby to be. 0-0 into these 2 added minutes on Premier League Live. Back it goes to the goalkeeper Ederson. And really, Ederson and Onana, they've been unemployed, haven't they, Paul? Yes. Nothing to do.
Nothing to do. Ederson, was it one shot on target, Casemiro?
Yep. And likewise for Onana, that one shot from De Bruyne. Looks as though that's going to be the case going into half-time. The ball is with Gvardiol. Midway inside his own half, tucks it infield, simple pass square to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's got it now. Just drifting, meandering really towards halfway, no great pace. Looks like both teams really have settled for 0-0 at half-time. Positives for United, Paul, in terms of the organisation at least?
Yes, right, yeah, they haven't been outplayed. They deserve to be in the game. Just like Manchester United, just like Manchester City, they lack a sting in the tail at the moment. Both sides have lacked that in the fight in their attacking thirds.
It'll be a United throw down by the corner flag, and not much time for Dalot to take it, 30 seconds or so. 0-0, and then he'll turn and go back to the tunnel between the Stretford end and the Sir Bobby Charlton stand. Long throw by Dalot upfield, headed down by O'Reilly, flicked by Gundogan, headed away by Harry Maguire. That's going to just take one bounce and go out of play, right in front of Ruben Amorim. Only seconds of the first half to go. All eyes on the referee now. Just about there. Nunes over halfway. We've had the 2 minutes of added time, and that is right on cue. The half-time whistle, City appealing because they felt they were on the attack, but I think the referee John Brooks has done the sensible thing. It is 0-0 at half-time, and really a game near enough totally lacking in clear-cut opportunities. If we're honest, there have been some promising forays forward for Manchester United on the counter, but a lack of efforts on goal have marred the Manchester derby so far. It has been closely contested, but it is Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0 on Premier League Live.
The countdown is on for the 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Bud Light. Catch all 7 rounds, 3 days, live from Green Bay, April 24th through the 26th. Watch every pick live with NFL Network Draft coverage, presented by Verizon. Also streaming on NFL Plus and on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Deportes. It all starts Thursday, April 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Visit NFL.com/draft for more information. Subscription required for NFL Plus. Lowe's, we help, you save. Lowe's, official partner of the 2025 NFL Draft.
You care about what food your kids eat, what they watch, how much time they spend outside. But what about the loud, smelly school bus they ride? Electric school buses are proven to reduce pediatric asthma risk. And for students with sound sensitivities, even a short bus ride can be sensory overload. Electric school buses are modern, clean, quiet, and create a calm environment for everyone. Highland partners with schools and cities across the country to make the physical and mental health benefits of electric fleets affordable for all communities. Learn more at highlandfleets.com.
Struggling with toe fungus? Gross! Kick it to the curb with Tiniacide. That's right, Tiniacide is your ultimate solution for fast-acting relief. Fungus doesn't stand a chance against Tiniacide by Dr. Blaine. Don't believe me? Then trust our 100% money-back guarantee. You'll see results in as little as 2 days. Pull into a Walmart store now and reach for the box with the nail clippers on the outside. Grab your Tiniacide and take the first step toward healthier feet today. Remember, for quick and effective relief, it's Tiniacide. Available at Walmart right on the bottom shelf in the foot care aisle.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Pure opportunity. It's what Michigan is all about. The opportunity to do more. The opportunity to connect with the best talent. The opportunity for people of all backgrounds to grow and expand their business. The opportunity to live and work in a state where paychecks go further. The opportunity is now, and it's right here in Michigan. Visit MichiganBusiness.org to discover all the ways the Michigan Economic Development Corporation can help your business thrive.
Every match from the English Premier League is now available on the SiriusXM app.
If you like soccer, you are in the right place.
Every unforgettable moment.
Simply sensational.
Every heartbreaking result.
Just goes from horribly bad to even worse.
Every statement win.
This is the place where dreams come true.
Don't miss a match of the EPL. Listen to the English Premier League on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule, go to SiriusXM.com/EPL.
Soccer's new frontier starts here on New Ground.
What we are always looking for are people that tap into good vibes. The ability to provide a platform where people can come on and tell their authentic stories, talk about things that connect us all, which is the game, but more so, who are you as a person? Why do you love this so much? How does your family flow?
Hear more from Jaleel and Ibaba on New Ground every Thursday night at 7 Eastern, only on Sirius XM FC 157.
We will have it all for you on Premier League Live. Half-time in the northwest of England. It is the Manchester derby, yet to really break into life. United 0, City 0. Manchester City drive forward with Mateus Nunes, nudges it wide to the corner of the area. Phil Foden with a left-footed shot, and it's just wide of the near post. The local lad knows exactly what it means. Tried to beat Onana on his near side. It was well struck. Just wide.
Yeah, he never really caught it right, to be perfectly honest. He's kind of hooked it. You can see he just caught the ground.
Now Garnacho with a chance to run at the back four. A couple of weaving step overs from Garnacho.
Cheers, SO Peeps. Thanks for hanging out with us today for the live coverage of Manchester United, the best club in the world, going up against Manchester City in a rivalry match. Thank you for joining us today. This is a little coverage of Evolution SC out of Illinois, taking on a club from I don't know where in some tournament in Indiana. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Manchester United game of the season. And all summer long, we will be covering that guy right there in goal. His games live right here on SOP Soccer. See you back in the chat. Oh yeah, and don't forget, shout out to True Killer on Discord and Twitter. Make sure you find him, send him a DM, and he will get your EAFC team to a level that you can't even imagine. Let's go, Evo. Let's finish this one off, and let's go Manchester United. Come on!
Parker, let's start with the positives. It has at least been closely fought. The teams are giving it everything. I suppose that's the bare minimum we should expect, though.
Oh, without a doubt, especially in a derby game, especially in a game of football. You're out here doing your job. You're meant to be given everything. It should never be asked. It should just happen anyway. And that's all we can talk about, really, in that sense, because as football has been quite poor, quality in the final third has been poor from both sides. United, they're going to score off a counter, or it's going to be a Fernandez dead ball or something around the box, but they have to get in and around that box to earn the right to earn a free kick, if anything, while City have overplayed without any end product. The only way I can see it is at least one of the wide players coming on. It's the only way I can see him scoring.
There have been a few moments for Manchester United going forward.
Yes,
without anyone on the end of them.
That's exactly right. They just haven't had the numbers there to cause problems, really. They had one time when they had a 5 against 3, but in the end it didn't come off for them. But other than that, they just haven't had enough numbers in the box. Hoyland has been invisible, to be perfectly honest. You can see him running around, but he just doesn't touch the ball. Just doesn't get on the ball. Not even just be there, even just to bounce the ball off of him. He's not even showing there, Joe, either. And that's what you're looking for, really, with your centre forward. You're not, you want them to score your goals. You want them to be getting shots. But if you're not doing that, you've got to get some kind of involvement. And he's just not there for Manchester United.
For City, I mean, in some ways it's been even less effective, hasn't it? Because there's been lots of neat, pretty passing football in the middle third, but I mean the two efforts that they've had really have come from individual bursts. There's not been a lot for City to get excited about either.
And I'm just looking at Mamouche, and Mamouche would work better, I'm sure, if he had someone out wide, someone who could get him behind, to put early balls in behind this Manchester United defence, which lacks pace. He's had that one opportunity to run. Harry Maguire was just there at the end there to block his shots, not a lot else, but you can see he's always threatening, but they just haven't been finding him. But they're getting nothing from wide areas, no balls across the box, no balls in behind. I think Pep's going to change it. He must change it, surely.
What a reminder elsewhere today in the Premier League. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, a full-time score, as Southampton are down after losing at Spurs, and Liverpool, the league leaders, beaten at Fulham. Let's find out what happened at Craven Cottage with Matt Drabble.
Fulham 3, Liverpool 2. The Cottagers secured just a first home win versus Liverpool since 2011, in a day that no Fulham fan will forget in a hurry. When McAllister opened the scoring for Liverpool in the 14th minute, it's no exaggeration to suggest that Fulham could feel severely hard done by. They had been the better team from the outset, and the Argentine's spectacular drive was firmly against the run of play. Any feelings of frustration would quickly turn to heady joy, though, when the home team responded with 3 quick-fire goals to take complete control. Sessegnon, Iwobi and then Muniz all finding the target within 14 minutes of each other to give the Lilywhites a commanding and deserved half-time lead. The second half would be far less simple. Cagey and perhaps surprised at their own standing in the game, a nervy Fulham slowly allowed Liverpool back in. Luis Diaz's 72nd minute strike would really pile on pressure, but to a man, Silva's side defended admirably and willed themselves over the line. It's unlikely the loss will dent Liverpool's title hopes, but it will be a huge boost to Fulham's chances of Europe. They climb 2 places to 8th and are just 3 points behind City in 5th.
Yes, Liverpool lose for just the second time this season in the Premier League. Well done to Fulham, who are still very much in touch with the European places. Could even finish in the Champions League spots, who knows. Elsewhere, very different fortunes for Southampton. Their long expected relegation confirmed today, beaten at Tottenham in front of John Howick.
Spurs 3, Southampton 1. The Saints are sent back down to the Championship as their Premier League relegation is confirmed with 7 games still to go. Ivan Juric's side had to avoid defeat to prolong their Premier League survival, but Spurs dominated possession and quickly took the lead less than 15 minutes in, with Brennan Johnson finishing off a cutback inside the box to make it 1-0 and settle Spurs fans' nerves. The advantage was then doubled 3 minutes before the half-time whistle as Johnson again prodded home from close range to bag a brace and make it 2-0 as Southampton were on their way to defeat number 25 this season. But the hosts took their foot off the gas in the second half and they never really killed the Saints off. And a late consolation goal from Matías Fernandes in the 90th minute gave them a glimmer of hope for a late comeback. But moments later, a clumsy challenge by Wellington in the box brought down Johnson for a Spurs penalty. And instead of the Welshman stepping up to bag a hat-trick, it was sub Matthias Tell who converted from the spot to bag 3 points for Spurs, ahead of a crucial European match later this week, as rock-bottom Southampton waved goodbye to their travelling fans and Premier League status at the final whistle. Final score, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Southampton 1.
Yeah, you have to feel for Southampton and their supporters, just 10 points. It's been a very tough season. They are down. Leicester and Ipswich look likely to join them at Tottenham stay 14th as it stands because it is goalless in the Manchester derby. The Monday Night Football, by the way, we will have for you here on Premier League Live. That is Leicester against Newcastle. It is Manchester Derby Day. Second half from Old Trafford comes next on Premier League Live.
Hey soccer fans, Chris Whittingham here to announce a new show now airing on SiriusXM FC featuring comedian Russell Howard.
That's right, Chris. From the folks who brought you Smartless, it's Goalless, a new soccer podcast highlighting everything that makes soccer beautiful and funny.
We'll kick around the biggest stories from the world of football featuring analysis, laughs, and great guests.
Join us for all the fun on Goalless, Thursday nights at 9 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Selling your home? On Ready.com, agents will pay you thousands up front just for the chance to sell your home. Because on Ready, agents compete. They put their money where their mouth is. Well, not really. You don't want agents with wallets in their mouths. But you get the idea. And when agents have money on the line, they sell your home for top dollar. So go to Ready.com, REDY.com, or call 888-515-READY.
After a triumphant U.S. Open on Donald Ross's masterpiece, Pinehurst No. 2, there has never been a better time to visit and enjoy your game at the cradle of American golf. Pinehurst Resort is home to 10 championship golf courses, including its newest, Tom Doak's rugged and breathtaking design of Pinehurst No. 10, named the best new course of the year. With 4 historic hotels and new luxurious cottages at Pinehurst No. 8, Pinehurst blends the charms of yesteryear with the very best in golf today. Visit Pinehurst.com now to plan your stay.
Want to lower your scores? Then stop guessing and play smarter with the FlightScope i4. It's more than a rangefinder. It's a smart AI caddy with just your home course location and your 7-iron carry distance. Smart gapping builds your personal club gapping table, while the environmental optimizer factors in local air density, elevation, wind, and more. The result? Effective playing distance and a personal club recommendation for every shot. Play with precision. Play with confidence. Play to win. FlightScope i4. Upgrade your game today at FlightScope.com.
Ultra low sulfur diesel falls short, but Defender steps up, providing advanced lubricity to prevent engine wear and tear. And that's not all. Our exclusive IDX4 detergent cleans out harmful deposits, keeping your engine firing on all cylinders. The result? More power, better performance, and a 5% increase in fuel economy or more. Protect your engine. Choose Howe's Diesel Defender today. Visit Howe'sProducts.com for more information and where to buy.
Hi, everyone. This is Heisman Trophy winner and NFL quarterback Doug Flutie. I'm excited to tell you that my podcast, the Flutie Flakes Cast, is back for the entire football season. I may have played like 21 years of professional football in 3 different leagues, but I'm still just a big kid, and I absolutely love this game. Every week, we'll talk about the topics I care about and bring on super fun guests. So please subscribe today wherever you stream your podcast or listen on the SXM app, included with most subscriptions.
So welcome to Premier League Live early today. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Tottenham 3, Southampton 1. Saints are down. Second half of the Manchester derby. United 0, City 0 at Old Trafford. With myself, Joe Shannon, alongside the former United defender, Paul Parker. What's the message from Ruben Amorim, first of all, at half-time?
I think he'll like the way they're defended. He'll enjoy the way they've countered, but he'll be asking for a little bit more in the point of getting more players in and around when they get there, because City are very thin when they get back there on their players, their numbers. It would 100% be looking more from Højlund to get into the game. Garnacho show more quality when he gets on the ball. He's one of those players at the moment, Garnacho, he always pulls it like, oh, I'm so unlucky. You've got to make things happen, make the right decisions, and try your best to get the execution spot on as well.
City get the second half underway. Long ball from Edison downfield. They're playing from left to right in the second half in the sky blue shirts, white shorts and white socks. Foul on Garnacho, and the yellow card out of the pocket of the referee. And it's in the direction of Bernardo Silva, so he becomes the second City player to be booked. United playing from right to left in the second half towards the Stretford end as usual. Red shirts, white shorts and black socks. They've got Onana in goal, Euro Maguire and Mazraoui, Dalot, Ugarte, Casemiro and Dorgu, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho behind Højlund. And for City, Edison's in goal, Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol and O'Reilly, Gundogan and Kovacic, Silva, De Bruyne and Marmoush in support of Foden, although really more often than not it's Marmoush who's taking up that central role. I'll give you the 2 sets of subs in just a moment as well. as United win the ball back with Casemiro midway inside the City half. Lovely, warm and sunny day in Manchester for the derby. Classic spring day. If you want to get in touch with us throughout the second half, let us know where you're listening from. Had some great tweets so far today. Do message us at TalkSport Live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Manchester United have got the ball out on their right. Diogo Dalot, 10-yard pass to Bruno Fernandes, right at the edge of the penalty area. He's driving to the dead ball line and he's whipped in the cross. Maybe he left it a bit late to deliver. Took a deflection and was gathered by Ederson. Stays 0-0.
Well, again, that's where I feel sorry for Højlund. He's made a run. He's checked his run to try and accommodate Fernandes having those extra touches, and by then it was too late. It was far too late. When he's done it, he's got to do it early because he's made his run, Højlund.
City now with Ruben Dias midway inside his own half of the field. 20-yard ball forward to Foden, who just tucks that neatly inside to Gundogan. Nice touch from Foden. Gundogan crosses the halfway line now. He's got O'Reilly to his left-hand side. Early ball to Marmoush. Good turn, edge of the box, falls for Foden! Oh, and what a great last-ditch tackle that was from Noussair Mazraoui. Foden thinks it should be a penalty.
No, I think he wants the corner. That's what I think he wants. He's looking at the corner. Surely he's asking. I don't think it was a penalty. I mean, it's a lovely pass to him. It's a corner. Absolute corner. I don't know how the referee has decided that's a goal kick. Oh yeah, there was the final touch at the end, wasn't there?
Maybe it did come off Foden.
Yeah, Mazraoui's made a touch with the bottom of his studs and Foden's caught it on his toe.
Double deflection on it, goal kick given, 0-0. Good football though from Manchester City. In fact, that's as close as they've got really to getting anyone clear in the area. The United bench, by the way, Altay by India, the goalkeeper. The game has been stopped because Højlund was holding his head. Amas, Eriksson, Kukonki, Mount, Lindelof, Obi, Shaw and Xerxes. And for City, Doku, Gonzalez, Grealish, Husanov, Lewis, McAtee, Savinho, Vitor Rice and Stefan Ortega. Oh, there's a word from Rasmus Højlund for the referee. He's back on his feet now, and City restart the game with the ball in their possession. Gvardiol midway inside his own half of the field. Only about a third of the pitch now is in sunshine, the end away to the right, which Manchester City are attacking in this second half. 0-0 in a game of, I wouldn't say there's been a clear-cut chance so far really, Paul Parker.
No, not at all.
Good ball down the right though for De Bruyne, low ball in! Lovely cross, but maybe a little too close to the goal line in the end. Marmoush couldn't get to it. Had he done so, would have been a simple tap-in, 0-0.
That's just typical Kevin De Bruyne there. Just gets in behind, gets close to the byline, normally pulls it back and there's someone incoming. That one was just that little bit too far, just in front. There's only Marmoush in there, who's on his own against three Manchester United defenders, but he was in front of them.
Well, De Bruyne captaining Manchester City today, yet to really have a moment in the Manchester derby. His final outing in this fixture after such a storied and glittering career. Here he goes, breaking down the middle. Foden making the run ahead of him. De Bruyne has played it back to Bernardo Silva. Angles the pass out wide to the right, and sort of stumbling onto it was Nunes. Back to Bernardo Silva. Kovacic 35-40 yards out into the feet of Gundogan, who steered it high to the left. O'Reilly brings it down, first time cross, and that's just nudged away by Noussair Mazraoui for Manchester United. Pattern of play, not too dissimilar really to what we saw in the first half. It's United on the counter with this wing-back system, and Manchester City having much of the possession, and it doesn't really feel like there's any great change in the likelihood of any goals for the moment. As Dorgu makes a challenge on halfway, Pep Guardiola, not his best first touch on the edge of the technical area. There's a handshake with Amorim. They're both right next to each other as the ball ran out of play there. Who's the happier manager, Paul?
I think it has to be Amorim at the moment in time, just by the way United are in the game, and deservedly so. Pep would be a very, looking at City and all that.
It's not a Pep performance, is it?
No, not at all. He's a perfectionist and he's mostly not enjoying watching it. He would have had the raving hump with his team's performance. He thrives on performances of individuals and, of course, his team.
De Bruyne has prodded the ball to the left-back area where it's eventually collected by O'Reilly. No threat to the Manchester United goal at all. City have got it deep inside their own half. Gundogan, again, almost standing in that left-back spot. He's given it straight to Diogo Dalot. Dalot on the burst. Across came Kovacic. Did just enough with a rather bundling challenge. Then O'Reilly gives it away. City lose it again. Bruno Fernandes with time. Thought about the cross. Pulls it back to Casemiro. Edge of the area. Onto Ugarte. Edge of the D. Wide to Dorgu. Dorgu delivers in high. Up goes Casemiro. Højlund can get there. Headed away by Ruben Dias. And that was a foul by Højlund. Did look a foul. And it is a free kick, 0-0.
Again, City, their own worst enemy. They put their own selves in trouble, trying to play little pretty patterns out the back. He's put both hands into him. It wasn't intentional. It was a sense of he was doing it just because he couldn't see the ball and he didn't want his toes trodden on.
And City have it now with Kovacic, who'll play it back to Gvardiol. Hello to Sergio Garcia, who's got in touch with us at TalkSport Live. Listen, I don't think it's the golfer.
All right.
I don't think it is. Anyway, you never know, though. Forward by Foden, out to the right for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne, edge of the area with a left-footed low shot. And it's just like a carbon copy of the first half. It is straight at Onana.
Yeah, and again, he didn't. Another shot he didn't catch right with his left foot. He steps inside off that right-hand side, and it's definitely not De Bruyne of the pass at this moment in time.
I don't think it is Sergio Garcia, the former golfer. Listening to the match after my Sunday League win, now in the gym for recovery here out of Silver Spring, Maryland. Hello to Sergio, and you can get in touch at TalkSport Live on X. Tommy Kennedy enjoying the commentary from Birmingham at SiriusXM FC. My Reds lose today, but still believing the title is theirs. So Tommy is a Liverpool fan, still 11 points clear. And Southampton relegated today after losing to Tottenham. That's probably the big headline of the day. 0-0. Free kick from Bruno Fernandes out to the United right. United 0, City 0. Dalot back to Ugarte with a first-time shot. And he scrambled that towards goal, scuffed it, and it was blocked. Dalot again in the right wing position, taking on O'Reilly. Deflection on the cross. Ederson punches that away. It'll drop down to Dorgu. About 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Wide's Garnacho, left-footed curler from the corner of the box, and Ederson did really well there, in between two red shirts, to pluck it out of the air, and he's quickly thrown it out to De Bruyne. Some pressure from Manchester United, but here come Manchester City. Marmoush, left corner of the area. Blocked off by the retreating Mazraoui. Now Marmoush again, out on that far side. Square to De Bruyne. Well, huffing and puffing Manchester United, but not without really looking like they just can't seem to threaten in the final third with that killer last touch. And City now with a free kick midway inside opposition territory, and there's a word from Ugarte for Ruben Dias. Doesn't hesitate to put himself in the picture. Bernardo Silva not happy with that. Well, this is what I think the fans sometimes like to see in Derby Day encounters.
Well, the game definitely needs something, a little bit of edge about it. He got caught a little bit late there, I think, and he wasn't happy, Ugarte.
Not much in that.
Not really, no, not to be doing. And then, I love it, the little school, the bully, the smaller one comes along just at the end after the big fella's sorted it all out. The little fella comes in and goes, there you go. But by the way, if you touch me, he'll get you.
Paul Parker with us for commentary on the Manchester derby today.
Yeah, the little fella, I know it.
0-0 at Old Trafford. De Bruyne standing over the free kick. Not got a lot of angle to choose from here. It's slightly to the right of centre, so maybe he can whip it to the left. Foden's way out on the right-hand touchline. De Bruyne's floated it high to the opposite side. O'Reilly heads it back across. Dalot in the way. Drops down to Marmoush. Appeals for handball. Marmoush with a very weak low shot to the near post that is easily gathered by Onana.
That's how it's been, isn't it? Every shot has been weak. There's been nothing positive at all. No great work for the keepers to deal with.
Yeah, no real change to the state of play from the first half. You've got to think that substitutions are going to be on the way. I think more so in the attacking areas than anything else.
Without a doubt.
And there are options for Both teams. I wonder whether Manchester United think about giving Chido Obi a go. We've seen that.
Yeah, I certainly would. Had a bit of pace up there because he's got a bit of pace about him.
Højlund can't hold it up again. It's one off him by Gvardiol, midway inside the United half. City with De Bruyne, touch heavy. Dorgu came across to play it back, and then he was caught by De Bruyne. Even Kevin De Bruyne not quite at it.
He's not at it at all there. Really, I mean, I don't know how he believed he had so much time just to be able to just relax and just take the foot off.
Well, here's the change for Manchester City. Foden comes off quiet really after the opening exchanges. Here comes Jeremy Doku. There's a change for United as well. And Maguire's going off here. Here comes Lindelof, so is that injury related potentially?
But I mean, Victor Lindelof will go into that central in the middle of the three, and to be honest, I saw him play against Arsenal, and it was the best performance of any of them who have played in that middle. He was progressive with his passing. He knew when he was running out, he was in control of the ball as he stepped forwards. Harry Maguire goes in there and he just sits, and it's sideways and backwards, not dynamic enough.
Well, there's that change for United as Lindelof races on. Maguire goes to take his seat in the raised brick dugout at Manchester United. So both teams have made their first changes, and City looking for some attacking impetus, as we said. Doku is a very tricky winger, but Bruno Fernandes has played it down the United right. Dalot led with the edge of the box. Again, they were slow to deliver the initial cross.
Yeah.
Back to Bruno Fernandes. That's a first-time delivery towards Dorgu. Good header defensively by Nunes. Crucial corner at the Stretford end.
It had to be Doku was there at the far post, and Nunes, who isn't, I wouldn't say he's a great defender, but at least he knew what was going on. I don't know if he really knew where he was, but he was aware that he couldn't let it go over his head without making a challenge.
2 corners apiece over the course of the 58.5 minutes so far. Manchester United will take this through Bruno Fernandes. It's going to be right-footed and in-swinging this corner. Plenty forward in the penalty area, high to the back post, and that's a dominant header away by Gvardiol. Marmoush has done well to win City a throw. If there is a goal, might be enough to win it for either team, Paul. You can't see this turning into a high-scoring encounter from nowhere. You can't really see a goal happening at all at the moment.
I don't think there's a chance of it being a goal fest.
City, we mentioned earlier, not exactly prolific in recent Premier League matches, and United not very prolific over the course of the Premier League season, just generally. They have won it back high up the pitch though. Garnacho down the right, jinks away in a tight area from O'Reilly, hangs up a high cross to the back post. Bruno Fernandes trying to get there. Good covering header by the right back Nunes, and very composed from Manchester City as they look to play the ball out of the defensive third. Nunes, long left-footed pass upfield, that's spun off the head of Noussair Mazraoui. Will be collected by Diogo Dalot of Manchester United. United seeing a little more of the ball now. Again, they've worked themselves into good positions at times, but sometimes the cross just isn't quick enough or early enough.
That's exactly. It has to be earlier. They've got to try it just to ask the question.
City win it back with Bernardo Silva. Now De Bruyne down the middle onto Gundogan, whose touch was really poor. It was fizzed at him though, in fairness, by De Bruyne. Given away by United momentarily. Mazraoui then gets in to win it back. 10 yards shy of halfway. To his immediate right is Dalot. He's drilled a low ball along the ground to Garnacho. Racing forward towards the right corner of the area. Blocked off by Bernardo Silva this time.
He's just ran straight into him though. Garnacho, no thought about what he was doing. He just ran and ran. Bernardo Silva's virtually just stepped in front of him, crouched to stop him getting the ball through his legs, and took it off of him.
An hour gone and 0-0 in the Manchester derby it remains. Still, we await a change in impetus, a change in energy and chance creation, just not happening at the moment. City have it with Kovacic, centre circle onto O'Reilly. Blocked off by Mazraoui. Now Garnacho with a chance to run at City down the inside right. Cuts it back to Bruno Fernandes. Dorgu joining the attack on the left overlap. Good ball to Dorgu. Low cross. Oh, and that is cleared away by Ruben Dias. It came off his chest while on the ground. United fans want handball. John Brooks immediately said no.
Yeah, he fell over as well. You can see he fell over. And the first thing he's done was got his arms right out the way as he fell over.
Casemiro high ball downfield. It's spun off the head of Gvardiol. Not a convincing clearance. Only as far as Diogo Dalot in an attacking position again, but he's lost out to Gundogan, and then Doku is caught. That's a foul, no question, by Casemiro.
It wasn't needed either, was it? He was going to run the ball out of play, to be honest. There was nowhere for him to go. He slips, you can see he slips. Diaz, nowhere near.
Did very well, actually, didn't he?
He did really well to adjust like that.
And what about United's number 9, Paul? Rasmus Højlund, he's not near the game, is he really?
No, he's nowhere near it, and he hasn't been for weeks and weeks. When he starts game, he just doesn't deliver and comes on a sub. You know, you can't even say he's an impact player.
Bernardo Silva to Nunes, infield from the right to De Bruyne, back to the halfway line. He's in the centre circle. Here is Gvardiol. Goalless it remains. Premier League live all around the world. Kovacic, middle of the United half. United sitting quite deep here, actually. Everybody behind the ball. Marmoush draws a foul from Lindelof and a free kick in shooting range. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne territory, about 25-30 yards out.
It wasn't a foul either. It doesn't normally get wound up at all, Victor Lindelof. That's why I had to really scrutinise it, just to look at it again. And he's right as well. He made no great contact. It was the way he went down. Marmoush, you'd have thought he'd been hit by, a 30-stone truck or something like that.
Well, it has resulted in a free kick, and this is certainly within De Bruyne shooting range. You'd think the City fans are asking for him to take it.
The old De Bruyne, you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the older one.
Well, Marmoush is over it as well. He can hit them.
He's putting it down. He's setting himself for it.
Well, are they finally going to be tested here? Manchester United, or either goalkeeper, really. Is Onana going to have some work to do? There are 4 in the United wall in the red shirts. And it's not done yet, this, with over 25 minutes to go. But we have had no real sign of the breakthrough up until maybe this point. The free kick is going to be taken by either De Bruyne or Marmoush. It's Marmoush with the curler and pushed away by Onana, diving to his left-hand side. It's a simple save, really.
Yeah, it was one for the cameras, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As he's done that, he smiled as well as he jumped to his left. I mean, it was like a cat. It was like a cat chasing a ball of wool, wasn't it? The way he's dived, he's got both his hands there prepared for it. It wasn't having to stretch out. It was an easy one in the end. No great pace on the free kick either.
You still wouldn't call it a serious effort on target, would you?
No.
Punched away two-handed by the goalkeeper. Doku down the left far side for City. Scampering back infield. Now Kovacic square to Bernardo Silva, forward of the centre circle. He's got Nunes on his outside on the right. Nunes calling for it and receives it from Bernardo Silva. Infield to De Bruyne. Now Nunes again. Nunes back to halfway. Ruben Dias is there. Dias stands all alone. City having a good spell of possession again. United fans trying to get behind their team. Dias, high crossfield ball out to the left and collected by Jeremy Doku. Taking on Dalot in a one-on-one, and he's got beyond Dalot with ease. Gundogan. And he's crowded out. Good work by Manchester United off the ball. United 0, City 0. Here in the derby, 20 minutes in to the second half, and really a forgettable first 65 minutes in truth. Højlund with a dink out to the left, and it's overhit. I wonder when Ruben Amorim is going to think about attacking alterations. Surely that's got to come soon.
I think that might have been the pass that broke the camel's back there, I think. I think now that's when they're looking at 65 minutes gone, getting to near that 70 minutes, which is normally where spree of subs normally happen from 70 minutes.
And Mazraoui and Doku with a real tussle on halfway. Eventually City get the free kick. Doku's added a little something, maybe.
Well, he's put the frighteners on him now. Dallow's almost tried to foul him. Now we've just seen there Mazraoui's done it. The referee's tried to let it go.
He couldn't.
Wow, what a battle that was.
Good touch by De Bruyne, but blocked off by the onrushing Dorgu, who's been diligent defensively. Manchester United as a team have been diligent defensively, but doesn't add up to really providing any attacking intent. 0-0, City would stay 5th in the race for Champions League football. On the halfway line for City is Gvardiol, left of centre. Ball on to O'Reilly. O'Reilly has got a simple angle pass to the left-hand side. It's Jeremy Doku scampering away from Diogo Dalot, and he's caught from behind. Yellow.
It was always going to happen with Dalot. He's not a very good defender. Concentration levels are quite poor. That time he's just grabbed him. I mean, what's he going to do now?
Well, you can't be surprised if you're Diogo Dalot and you get booked in that situation. Into the final quarter of the Manchester derby. And the away team has won 10 of the last 18 in the league between these two sides. If City were to score here, one goal, even with 22 and a half minutes to go, would probably be enough. The way the game has panned out, delivered in by De Bruyne, high towards Bernardo Silva. And the touch takes it behind. What's the referee given? Corner. Well, Ruben Dias was certainly up there.
Yeah.
Right in front of the City fans. At the scoreboard end away to our right-hand side. Noisy City. Manchester United with 11 goals conceded from corners this season in the Premier League. That is the joint most. It is an area where they are vulnerable. De Bruyne will take this one. It'll be right-footed and out-swinging from the City captain. High towards the penalty spot, headed away. And then hit on the volley, pushed up by Onana. O'Reilly to the rebound. He can lay it wide to the left. Driven in by Bernardo Silva. Took a deflection. City wanted handball, and the referee has now given United a free kick. That was a good save by Onana, looking into the sunshine to deny the fizzing effort from Marmoush.
What a strike that was as well. He's come out. He couldn't hit that any better. Any better. It was a wonderful strike. It was just straight at Onana. Onana could do is just punch it out almost exactly from where it's come from.
Well, it was really well hit from Omar Marmoush. A fizzer. And Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount stripped and ready to go very shortly, Mount, for Manchester United. A signing that has certainly not worked out. 0-0. Just over 20 to go. Is that a foul on Diogo Dalot on the right? It is by O'Reilly. Could he be in any trouble?
I don't think so. I think that's the first foul he's given away. And it was just a poor effort to try and win the ball.
No booking forthcoming. There will be a free kick out on the right for Manchester United, who are going to make a couple of attacking changes, as you've been hearing. First, though, free kick. Bruno Fernandes to take right-footed, about a yard in field. On that far side, here it comes, delivered into the penalty area, not a good one. Nothing on it, really. Cleared away by Ilkay Gundogan.
He hit the first man.
Bruno Fernandes joggles it over the head of Doku. He's pushed it on to Casemiro with a first-time cross. Comes out to Ugarte! Only just wide on the half volley. Well struck, and Ederson was statuesque. Maybe it is starting to open up now.
Yeah, well, that's as good as it's been, really. It wasn't the best of crosses we saw there from Casemiro, and Ugarte's shot, the first time he catches it on the half volley, he keeps it low. It was just about a good 3 or 4 feet to the left of the goal. Just saw somebody just behind the goal. He's got his cup of coffee in his hand. He's worried about going home with a stain.
He had to dive out of the way of it. And he did. Well, these are maybe positive attacking changes for Manchester United, because, yes, Højlund's gone off, but Ugarte has as well.
Ooh.
And it's Zirkzee and Mount. So Is that Ruben Amorim believing that there are 3 points in it for Manchester United here, Paul?
Well, I think on Xerxes another one where you don't know what you're going to be getting from him, to be honest. He can do some good stuff, but he just doesn't do it consistently enough, while Mason Mount, we don't know, still not tested yet, is he?
I'm still in hysterics about the poor guy behind the goal, saving his cup of coffee. He only just did it as well. 0-0. 19 to go. Well, maybe it's going to live up a bit for the final stages. Both teams have had decent chances now at either end. Dorgu, left back area clears for Manchester United, and they're not clear-cut chances at all. But that was a well-hit strike from Ugarte.
It certainly was. Really good strike.
Jack Grealish is going to come on here for Manchester City, and Rico Lewis likewise. As Dorgu wins it back in the left-back area, near side. Bruno Fernandes poking it to the halfway line and getting the return from Garnacho. Back to Garnacho, lovely football in a very tight area. Bruno Fernandes out on the left, pulls it back. Garnacho, left edge of the penalty area, bursts into the box, and again a little slow, I thought, to deliver, Paul, and that allowed the defender to get back.
It did. He just always has to do that little bit more. It is unnecessary. He just had to take a strike or get the ball into an area. This might cause a problem for Manchester United. He doesn't do it. Cause a problem to Manchester City, I should say. He just doesn't do it. They just don't do anything early, and I feel sorry in a way, I suppose, have to say, for Højlund. He doesn't get the ball early enough because he does need it early. Hasn't got the quickest feet, but you just know he's a decent. He can actually, hit things first time. He's got good ability that way on striking the ball. It's just his general play and looking for the ball, getting it to his feet, controlling, passing, moving. That's what he's been lacking.
Ruben Dias on the edge of his own penalty area. Out to the right, and it's with Nunes. Forward to De Bruyne, back in his own half. How many minutes? 17. Plus added time to go. 0-0. Here come the City changes. Grealish and Lewis. Replacing initially Ilkay Gundogan. And Nico O'Reilly also coming off. Well, it's near enough like for like, I think, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, very much so.
And so, the Manchester derby moving towards its final stages. Not a Manchester derby that will be particularly memorable as it stands, but it could still be memorable for someone, because if there is a goal, one is going to be enough to win this. I think there's little doubt in that. United go back to Lindelof in the centre circle. Square ball to Noussair Mazraoui. Out on the right for United is Dalot. Back infield to Mazraoui just inside the City half. And what have you spotted, Paul Parker?
No, I'm just looking there where Jack Grealish has started at the moment. I don't know if once the ball goes steady, he will go out to the left-hand side and Doku will come to the right, but they're in the Ramusha looks like he's gone to the right side.
We'll see. And almost De Bruyne furthest forward. Nunes down in the right back position for City with a hurried clearance under real pressure. They've worked it brilliantly, City, there actually, as they look to play out from the back, and suddenly Dias being hassled and harried by Xerxes, and Xerxes does really well to win a throw down by the corner flag. Well, the United fans at the Stretford end maybe believing here that there could be something in this for them late on, but they've given it away from the throw. City break, and that's a foul by Mason Mount, will be a yellow. And John Brooks, I think he's saying Mount's just cut across his man.
I don't know why. There was no need for Mason Mount to do that, to be honest. All he had to do was run with him. He was running wide, but he's just just fouled him, and now he's put himself under pressure already.
Here comes City with Grealish. Marauding into United territory. Out on the left is Doku. Doku plays it square and infield to Kovacic. And now Gvardiol. 10 yards into the United half. Gvardiol rolling it wide to Nunes. Nunes is inside the Manchester United half. Bernardo Silva back to Ruben Dias again. So it's goalless, and there are 14 minutes plus at a time to go. Not a long time left for a winner in the Manchester derby on Premier League Live, and really, I think 0-0 is a fair scoreline up to this point. Doku out on the City left, he's taking on Dalot, he's pushed it into the area, but too much for Grealish, and simple for Onana to come out and get Paul.
It was in the end. Doku's not been getting the opportunity to be able to run at him.
Well, Eric Cantona here today. Manchester United legend. Wonder what he makes of it all.
I know that he'll be disappointed with the work that United have done in the attacking thirds. It hasn't been very good.
They would certainly take a 1-0 at this point, as would City. City will fail to move up into the top 4 as it stands. Xerxes on halfway, back to Casemiro, first time sweeping pass. Right to left, here is Dorgu. Dorgu touches it on to Garnacho. Dorgu's continued his run on the overlap, and he's going to play the low ball into Xerxes! Turned away, Mason Mount on the rebound, and that's blocked by Lewis. Now Bruno Fernandes, wide to the right, Dalot's cross, and that cannons off the head of Lewis for a corner.
Well, that's been as good as it's been in the whole game, to be perfectly honest. For that split second, it's just livened the game up. It definitely was great for United. They've done everything early. Xerxes' strike with his left foot, first time, was a wonderful strike. An even better save from Ederson, because he would have seen it quite late, because it's happened quite quick, and he was alive to it. And the second strike was on target from Mason Mount as well, which was blocked by Diaz again.
Bruno Fernandes with the corner, 0-0, in towards Casemiro, headed away, and then Mazraoui on the volley. Didn't catch that well at all, miles wide. Well, Euro club Manchester United, Paul, it's the best chance, isn't it? Best chance so far.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it was just getting the ball into where numbers are. That's all it was, just the ball's gone across.
One bounce on the half volley, well hit. Well saved by Ederson. That was a good strike by Mount on the rebound too. Lewis did well to block that. Here on Premier League Live, Jeremy Doku in the left wing area, taking on Noussair Mazraoui. Doku towards the edge of the box where De Bruyne was waiting, and it was blocked off. Bruno Fernandes trying to carry it forward. Great early ball over halfway. Garnacho down the left, well marshalled by Nunes, but he's still got it here. Garnacho running at the defender to the edge of the area, and then dragging the shot wide, but it did take a touch, and it will be a corner at the Stretford end.
Again, he hasn't caught it very well at all. Nunes has done well to slow him down in the end. Dogu's made a great run so it allows Nunes to step off, and he steps inside. I think he's got to look for the pass there. I think he really has to look for the pass there. Garnacho has gone for glory.
Well, it's the Premier League, and you never know what is around the corner, and it would be unlike Manchester United to win this derby, but they look the more likely at the moment. Delivered in by Bruno Fernandes. He's taken it short, gets it back from Garnacho. Tries to find a better angle for the cross. It's a good one, and only half away at the near post, and then swinging it inside the penalty area. And United want a penalty. The challenge from Kovacic on Casemiro, and I think the referee's got that spot on, not giving a penalty.
He couldn't be in a better position, to be perfectly honest. He just straight away, and even I could see that wasn't a penalty. Just by the way, no, nothing happened there at all. And again, something's got to be done about players who try and fake things like that. And everyone can see it. His head took more of anything. With Kovacic, the way he just fell, he catches him with his calf on the back of his head.
10 minutes to go. And 0-0 it remains. Kovacic not impressed. Making one final point to the referee. I don't think there's any real decision to be made, though, is there?
No, not at all.
Peter Schmeichel watching on from the stands today. And one of Manchester United's many former players in Old Trafford today. Of course, the great manager Sir Alex is in the director's box too. United win it back with Dalot, and he's given it straight to Rico Lewis in the left-back area. Now Xerxes, as United retrieve possession again. On the halfway line is Lenny Euro. Euro's angled ball to the left, and Patrick Dorgu steps into City territory. And Dorgu trying to get forward on the burst, and he's got beyond Bernardo Silva, quickly left to Garnacho. Garnacho trying to raid infield. Dorgu turning down the left, and is that a shove in the back? No.
Just threw himself forward. Referee was right there again, couldn't be any closer.
Along by Kovacic up the middle, and Doku's chasing this in a foot race with Mazraoui, who had to play it back to Onana under pressure. And Onana clears it easily. And Grealish is there to pluck it out of the air for City, their number 10. Nudges it left towards De Bruyne. Good sliding challenge by Mason Mount. De Bruyne's influence has faded really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
8 minutes to go.
Certainly has. Not in the game at all. The game's moving too quick for him now.
Well, will Manchester United feel they can win it?
Oh, the way they are at the moment, they look the most likely to score a goal because they're being more direct, they're shifting the ball quicker. More so off the right-hand side as an attacking side, everything's moving quicker there.
Not been a vintage game, but Manchester United won't care one jot if they can find a very late winner. A couple of attempts on target for United, 5 for City in the 82.5 minutes. Pep Guardiola issuing some instructions from the near side touchline. United with Bruno Fernandes, angled ball to the left, and Dorgu again. Back square to Bruno Fernandes, who took one touch to try and take it on, but it was a heavy touch. One back by City. And so the frustration continues really here for the home and away supporters, and for Pep Guardiola no doubt as well. I don't think there's been much of an upturn for City really, Paul. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
The second half has in large part mirrored the first. Lenny Euro with an error, and he's dragged down Marmouche. That'll be another yellow card. He knew that he'd made the mistake, and fortunately for him, it was quite a long way from goal.
Again, you've got to think sometimes. Just look where he's going to run into. You can just cut the angle, and you ain't got to give yourself a yellow card and make the rest of the game a problem. It was a needless one to give away.
Kovacic with a square pass to Lewis. Midway into the Manchester United half, it's Ruben Diaz. Forward to Bernardo Silva, who had it one off him by Xerxes, but Xerxes has held on to it well actually amid 3 Man City players around him. Down the left goes Garnacho, and he can't hold on to it. It seemed an easier task than that of Xerxes, and City go back to goalkeeper Ederson.
Again, but he lets himself down so many times, Garnacho, when he gets on the ball.
Well, we've had 84 minutes and no breakthrough. Is there going to be one more chance maybe before the end of the game? I think that's what both sides are realistically looking at here. Mason Mount, United's number 7. Little ball touched on to Diogo Dalot. He scampers infield. Xerxes back to Casemiro, sweeping crossfield. Dorgu's in space again, corner of the area, delivers and headed away before Xerxes can get to it.
That was what they done there was brilliant when they went from one side to the other. Dorgu gets on it, doesn't think of nothing else except put the ball into a dangerous area where Xerxes is.
United 0, City 0 it remains. But United looking the more likely at the moment. Dorgu again down the left, and he's put a couple of good crosses in this second half. Bruno Fernandes is going to play it across to Mazraoui. Long way out. Forward towards Mount, cleared away. Lewis was caught by Mount. And hello to Mike, listening to us at TalkSport Live on X, used to be known as Twitter. And chilling on a wintry spring day in Fort Worth, Texas, with Jake and Oakley, the 2 dogs, after a much-needed Tottenham win today. Tottenham 3, Southampton 1, so Southampton have been relegated today. Liverpool, the leaders, beaten 3-2 at Fulham, and Chelsea held to a goalless draw by Brentford at Brentford. Lewis, halfway line for Man City. Infield to Grealish again. It's been too slow from City at times. Grealish has wriggled away down the middle in a well-timed lunging challenge by Casemiro to win it back. Casemiro's going to have to go in again here, and he's whipped it off the feet of Lewis. High ball down the middle towards Garnacho, and cleared away by Bernardo Silva. Edison had come a long way out of his goal there.
Yeah, he wasn't in a good position there either. If Garnacho had got there first.
Does feel like the tension's starting to rise a bit, doesn't it, Paul? Jeopardy in the game. No foul by Mazraoui on Grealish, with 4 minutes left, plus added time.
I just must say, this referee, he has been, when there's been anything, he has been right there on top of it to see it. There's a lot of referees who were given a foul there on that one for Jack Grealish, just for the fact he's gone down and he's waved his arms.
And Bruno Fernandes from the centre circle, he'll play it back to Nusayr Mazraoui. Angled chip to the right. Diogo Dalot pushes it on. Mason Mount inside right, low ball in. Xerxes brings it down in the area, and he got the shot away. But Ruben Dias was there, coming across to make yet another important block.
Well, it was just about what Diaz done there. He sees Xerxes take his touch, and he stayed in his feet. He never made anything to show he's going to go and try and win that ball. He's saying, you've got to make an effort here to try and beat me. And that's why he got the block in, because he was just patient.
United sending plenty of red shirts forward here. It's going to be a long throw, and it's going to be taken by Diogo Dalot. No, it's short to Mazraoui. Back out wide to Dalot. Can he get the right-footed cross in? Back to Mazraoui. Now back to Bruno Fernandes. He delivers. That's a great ball, and headed up and behind by Gvardiol. And it's another corner to Manchester United. 2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Probably not a lot of added time.
No, I wouldn't, because the ball's been in play quite a bit. That's why the second half has been that good, really. There hasn't been a lot, doesn't seem like it's going to be a lot of time, because the game seems to be more all action. The difference is that United are getting the ball in the box a lot earlier now.
Here comes the corner to be taken by United's main man, Bruno Fernandes. It'll be right-footed and in swinging into the near post, and up go the heads. City with Diaz, and then Dorgu slices it wide on the volley. First time left-footed. Well, I think there's been a lot to encourage Ruben Amorim, certainly in the second half, Paul.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I'd be very happy in the way they've gone. There's an attacking on the attacking side as well. It certainly has improved. He's made that change up front.
Doku for Manchester City, dribbling in field and nearly losing it, but doing really well to poke it on to De Bruyne, who looks like he's going to last the full 90-plus minutes in his last Manchester derby. He'll certainly get the acclaim of the away fans at the end of the game. Lewis on halfway, back to Kovacic, and now Ruben Dias shy of the centre circle. Angle ball to the right, near side, Núñez. He's controlled it. He's played it back now to Diaz again. In the centre circle is Gvardiol. Now out on the left, Rico Lewis. Further wide, Jeremy Doku. He's going to take on Dalot. Back in field to Lewis again. Lewis square to Diaz. And Diaz, he's a long way out. He's worked it wide to Núñez again. It's all a bit sideways at the moment from City. Don't look like carving out the chance. Núñez blocked off by Dorgu, who's actually gone down and hurt himself there. There's a collision maybe of knees. The referee does stop the game.
He shouldn't be stopping the game, the referee.
Well, it's not a head injury. Even if it is a bit painful for Dorgu.
It's not a head, well, it's definitely not a head. I don't know where he's hurt.
Maybe the knee, maybe an overstretch.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, because he did actually go and hit him as well while he was stretched, Núñez, didn't he?
He's got some water, and the two physios are on as well. We're into added time at Old Trafford. Let's see how much is added on when the fourth official comes and tells us 4. And we didn't think there'd be a lot. Ruben Amorim and Pep Guardiola turning back towards the dugout. I think disappointment for Manchester City today, Paul. Overall, in terms of how they played, at least anyway.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't been consistent in what they're doing. There's the odd flashes, but when you look at them in that final thirds, they've been very poor. United have been better in the attacking third than what they have, especially in this, definitely the second half anyway.
On the left-hand side for City is Doku. Grealish about 5 yards infield. Doku's rolled it straight to Xerxes. He's looked bright since coming on. Bruno Fernandes charges over halfway. One of the 4 added minutes have been played. Xerxes down the right with Diogo Dalot just behind him. Xerxes pulls it back high, all the way towards Garnacho at the back post. It's going to be hard for him to get there. Header Bernardo Silva, who headed clear, but United with Euro coming forward. He's lost out on the left-hand channel. Marmouche tries a back heel. 2 red shirts sandwich him, and United fairly win it back. Now it's Euro again. Dorgan. 1 chance, 1 goal to win the Manchester derby. 0-0 with 2.5 to go. Sweeping from Bruno Fernandes cross field, and he's had to race across there. Dalot to keep it in play with his chest. Back to Mazraoui. Now Victor Lindelof. Centre circle up to Casemiro. Square pass into the feet of Euro. Euro dribbles the ball down the middle, and he's angled it wide to Garnacho, and a block tackle from Bernardo Silva. Likewise, Nunes then comes across. That'll be a throw to United. 2 added minutes remain, plus maybe a little bit more. Had a slight delay to the start of added time. And City get a goal kick.
Just what he's done, his substitutions have been very good today, I must say, Amarin. What he's gone and done, he's done it from the defensive side of it. He wanted the ball moved quicker, so he took Harry Maguire out and he's brought in Lindelof. And then you see on the other side of it as well, with Mount coming in there to add a little bit more running off the ball than what Ugarte can't do. And obviously Xerxes, just someone already he's done more than what Højlund's done.
Hello to Art, listening to the game while about to get on the Eagle Express lift at Mammoth Mountain in California, doing some skiing. Let's go United, he says. Well, United have nearly got a draw, but here comes City with De Bruyne. Last minute of added time coming up. 0-0. Bernardo Silva raiding down the right, goes down and trying to buy the free kick, I think. Dorgu made a completely fine challenge, but then Bruno Fernandes, he's nudged it off his fellow Portuguese for a United throw in the left-back position. He'll be your man of the match, probably, Paul, Bruno Fernandes today. He's been everywhere at least, hasn't he?
He's been around, yes. To be honest, when you look at it, I suppose you would say just because he's been around, when you're looking out on the pitch, you're looking for just one bright spark as a player, and there isn't one really to name, is there?
I think Xerxes done well since he came on.
Yeah.
But he's not been on for long.
Yeah. If you name him, everyone straight away paints a picture of the game if you was to name him man of the match.
20 seconds to go. 0-0. Dalot down the inside right, blocked off by Doku. Casemiro goes in with a good sliding challenge again. Here come United, last chance. Dorgu, left corner of the penalty area, chips in the cross, headed away. City will deal with it. And we've now had the 4 minutes of added time. Possibly 10-20 seconds to go because of the initial injury to Dorgu. It's got to go in though from Manchester United, into the area. And it's not doing. They've got it out in the right wing. Dalot crosses, cleared away. Comes out to Casemiro. Mason Mount's on the edge of the box, thought about a shot. Bruno Fernandes, and now Euro plays it wide, and that'll be the end of the attack and the end of the game. 0-0 it finishes in a Manchester derby that didn't live up to the usual billing. There's a hug and a handshake between Amorim and Guardiola on the near side touchline. Very much lacking in clear-cut chances. United probably had the better of them, but a draw, a fair result. It finishes Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Manchester City drive forward with Mateus Nunes, nudges it wide to the corner of the area. Phil Foden with a left-footed shot, and it's just wider than it.
For the top corner aside, they never really looked like scoring at the other end, and Nana did well to beat away an effort from Omar Marmouche from the edge of the penalty area. Also made a flying save to keep out a free kick from Ilkay Gundogan. Kevin De Bruyne playing in his last ever Manchester derby, unable, the City captain, to make the impact that he would want. In the end, it's another dent in City's hopes of gate crashing the top 5 and ensuring they're at least in the Champions League next season. And I think Nottingham Forest, their semi-final opponents in the FA Cup, will watch this with some confidence they can get the job done at Wembley. It finishes here, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0, and intrigued to see now if this sit-in that the 1958 group want to stage takes flight, and there are a lot of Manchester United fans who do seem to be staying in well beyond the full-time whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. And away to our left-hand side, RIP fan culture, 1878 to 2025. We want our club back. The 1958 big banner being hoisted up in the Stretford end. Away to our left, Glazers out. There's a load of other banners, smaller ones just behind that, just to the edge of the top tier in the Stretford end, away to our left-hand side. And a lot of people coming towards the front of the stand on the opposite side of the ground in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand as well. The Manchester United players now going round towards the scoreboard end and making sure they show their appreciation to the supporters. An XG of 0.92 for Manchester United, but Manchester City 0.49 despite 58% possession. They had only 9 shots in the game, 5 on target, 1 big chance, 3 corners. Not a very good performance from them. And Henry Winter, this is the key bit now, what happens here, whether or not that this protest has any sort of effect.
Well, first, my sympathies are with whoever had to choose the man of the match, because I think that would have been incredibly difficult. I mean, in fairness, there are quite a few fans there around the, as you say, the RIP fan culture, 1878 to 2025. I think what's been really interesting about these fan protests is that we're so very used to it in this country, of it going club by club. Whereas actually there's almost sort of hands across the divide, with Manchester United fans meeting with Manchester City fans, Manchester United fans meeting with Spirit of Shankly, the Liverpool team.
Well, they held that banner across the divide of the supporters in the game at Anfield, which usually is unheard of.
That was a very powerful image, that, wasn't it? I mean, it's all under the Football Supporters Association general banner of stop exploiting loyalty. Every club has their individual issues, whether it's season ticket prices, whether it's concessions, whether it's ownership, whether it's just unhappiness with owners or the team or whatever. But actually there seems to be a collectivity about this, and of course it's coming in at the same time that the independent football regulator is coming in as well, who is supposed to be the fans' friend and will help them on this.
Yeah. When's that happening again?
Very imminent.
Yeah,
the announcement of the chair is imminent.
Okay, let's see.
But I did predict a goal in this game, so don't rely on me.
Manchester City in 5th after today's result. I mean, how Chelsea are still in 4th. I mean, that sort of tells you where we are at this moment.
Newcastle have got 2 games in hand over Manchester City.
And we mentioned that earlier on today. 2 games in hand over Manchester City, Aston Villa and Chelsea. And if they were to win those 2 games in hand, Newcastle United, and one of them is against Leicester City tomorrow night live on TalkSport, they'd be within a point of Nottingham Forest in 3rd position.
They're a better team than Manchester City and Chelsea this season, Newcastle. If there's any justice, they will be one of England's representatives in the Champions League next season. Quite frankly, on what we've seen today, the current champions don't deserve a place in the Champions League next year.
Well, they might not get one. Manchester United in 13th, just below Brentford on goal difference. I mean, the fact that Manchester United are below Brentford on goal difference is quite a startling fact, but Tottenham are even further behind that. The Europa League is certainly those 2 teams' focus, and we'll have live coverage on that on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 on Thursday night. Manchester United against Lyon here at Old Trafford, and at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Eintracht Frankfurt are the visitors. Your debt, not ours, is another banner away to our left. There's a lot of disgruntled Manchester United fans making a real noise away to our left-hand side. It's now a minority of the supporters. A lot of them have left, but there's still a vocal minority inside the stadium that are making their feelings felt on a day in which they have drawn the Manchester derby 0-0 here on TalkSport. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, another scoreline, the 2 p.m. kickoff in the Premier League. Fulham have beaten Liverpool. It's only the 2nd time this season that Liverpool have been defeated. Their first away defeat of the season. They were the only English club in league football not to suffer a defeat away from home before today. Tottenham have relegated Southampton. They've gone down with 7 games to spare. It is the earliest relegation in Premier League history. Dundee United have beaten Hearts as those 2 teams fight for a place in the top 6. St Johnstone, desperate to try and stay in the Scottish Premiership, have beaten top of the table Celtic. Warrington are through to the Challenge Cup semi-final after victory over St Helens, and the fallout from the Manchester derby is coming your way with Majestic and Alan Pardew next.
And the Yukon Huskies are back in the national championship game.
Don't miss a second of the NCAA Women's Championship game on Sirius XM.
Kip puts it on the deck, steps through Euro, glass and scored!
Hear the women's title game this afternoon at 3 Eastern as South Carolina takes on UConn.
The South Carolina Gamecocks take round 4.
Listen to Westwood One's coverage on Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 and the Sirius XM app.
Paige Beckers cans a triple!
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Travel is great, but planning for travel can be time-consuming and difficult. That's where One Travel comes in. With One Travel, you'll find everything you need to book the perfect trip. Flights, hotels,
Cheers, SO peeps. Thanks for hanging out with us today for the live coverage of Manchester United, the best club in the world, going up against Manchester City in a rivalry match. Thank you for joining us today. This is a little coverage of Evolution SC out of Illinois, taking on a club from I don't know where, in some tournament in Indiana. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Manchester United game of the season. And all summer long, we will be covering that guy right there in goal. His games live right here on SOP Soccer. See you back in the chat. Oh yeah, and don't forget, shout out to True Killer on Discord and Twitter. Make sure you find him, send him a DM, and he will get your EAFC team to a level that you can't even imagine. Let's go, Evo. Let's finish this one off, and let's go Manchester United. Come on!
In condemning this conviction. This is not a decision of justice. It is a political conviction.
She was addressing her supporters in Paris after being convicted of embezzlement, which she's appealing. And 2 teenagers have been arrested on suspicion of murder after a stabbing in West London. 17-year-old Kieran Charles was found dead in Shepherd's Bush yesterday afternoon.
Talk Sport.
A relegation record for Southampton, becoming the fastest to exit the Premier League. Arne Slot says complacency hasn't set in at Liverpool after defeat against Fulham, and honours even at Old Trafford as the Manchester derby ended goalless.
It's another day of box office football here on TalkSport. So let's have a quick rundown of today's blockbusting lineup in midfield. It's Anthony Flash Gordon.
Get heroic coverage of every epic clash.
Morgan Buck Rogers.
On the radio station that knows, with great power comes great responsibility.
And Martin Odegaardians of the Galaxy.
Well, these are the nights when heroes are made, where history will be written.
Also, Kyle Skywalker.
Magnificent counter-attack.
And Tyrone Mings the Merciless.
Supporters assemble. Captain's goal.
Talk Sport.
On the TalkSport app, on your smart speaker, on your mobile, and on your smart TV. TalkSport.
The nation's essential destination for big game comment and criticism. High priority post-match fan reaction. The indispensable final word phone-in on TalkSport.
Sorry, I'm just waking up from that absolute snore fest. Welcome to the Final Word phone-in with me, Majestic, alongside the experienced Premier League manager, Alan Pardew. We've just seen a Manchester derby that will be instantly forgotten about as it ends a 0-0 draw at Old Trafford, and it was as dull as the scoreline does suggest. So Man United and Man City fans, the phone lines are now open for you right now to talk about another Premier League game that endorses what a bland season it has been for some of the big-name clubs in the Premier League. 03717 22 3344 is the number to call. Earlier in the day, Liverpool lost for the first time away from home in the Premier League as Fulham won 3-2, and Chelsea and Brentford played out a scoreless draw. But Southampton fans, the phone lines are open for you as you make an unwanted history by becoming the first team to be relegated from the Premier League with 7 games to go. Your former club, Pardew, you have a lot to say on that. Remember, we're live now on YouTube and on your smart TV, so you can watch us in glorious HD. But now it's all about you and your opinion. So give us a call, 03717 22 3344. It's the Final Word phone-in with Madge and Pards here on TalkSport. And we are in the different studio today that a lot of presenters have been talking about throughout the week. So it's